Before we go.
Archival footage is very important, especially, I think, when you're talking about someone like Bayard.
We will not tolerate the brutalization, the beating on of black people any longer.
You know, he was essentially invisible or behind the scenes for the early part of his career. Despite the fact that he experienced discrimination within the civil rights movement, largely because he was gay, and he was sometimes sent into exile, if you will, the movement really needed him. So eventually they would bring him back into the movement. He was kind of expelled in 1959, 1960, but then 1962 started talking about the March on Washington, and he was put in charge of that. He had a wonderful speaking voice and also a wonderful singing voice. So very often he would either begin or end the talk that he was giving with a spiritual of some kind, or a labor song, or something that would kind of unite the audience around the themes of the talk that he had given.
And before I'll be yesterday, I'll be buried in my grave and go home to my Lord and be free.
Many of the movements, including the women's movement and the LGBTQ+ movement, sort of saw the African American struggle as a blueprint for what they needed to do and how they needed to organize. And so to have access to all of the civil rights history, and especially to Bayard's work, because he was really the preeminent organizer, I think it's very important for the current movements to have the ability to go back and look at that material.
That